Hello and welcome everyone to round 4 of the PSL Cup 2022, where we see the University of Nottingham take on Loughborough. Joining me in the commentary box today, my younger brother, Will Gibbon.
Hello Sam, pleasure to be here as always.
It's good to have you next to me, bud. So starting us off today, we have the women's number 2 string with Madina Zafar for the University of Nottingham against Maya Panel for Loughborough. Know much about either of these two girls, Will?
Obviously, being at the same uni as Madina, played with her, seen her play quite a lot. Maya's a bit of an unknown quantity to me, never seen her play before in any kind of PSA event, so be interesting to see what she brings.
Similar for me, I've not got a great deal of experience with Maya. Second up is the men's number 2 string, Adam Auckland for the University of Nottingham against Mohammed Al-Shami for Loughborough. Then we'll kick off with the number 1 strings, Tinne Gilis, Nottingham's girl tonight, against Millie Tomlinson for Loughborough, and finally finishing off with Owain Taylor for Nottingham, playing Simon Herbert.
Looks like we're in for an exciting night of squash. Hopefully we'll see some close matchups.
Before we begin, just a thank you to the sponsors,
Should be very exciting.
Should indeed.
We'll go courtside now with our MC.
For hosting the events and for funding the teams. So, without further ado, let's get the players onto court. University of Nottingham play Loughborough tonight, and first on the court for them, very, very talented young player, currently ranked at 333 in the world. Please put your hands together and welcome Maya Panel. And her opponent tonight made her PSL Cup debut just a few weeks ago against Loughborough Storm at the Park, and is currently ranked at 312 in the world and part of the recent Bucks winning team here at the University of Nottingham. Please put your hands together, go mad, go crazy for Madina Zafar. Next lady on court for Loughborough is very much on the comeback trail, currently up 11 places in the latest PSA World Rankings and fresh off an appearance at the Tournament of Champions in New York City. Currently ranked 73 in the world. Please welcome Millie Tomlinson. Millie's opponent tonight for the University of Nottingham is very much in form, winning her last 2 30k tournaments on the PSA World Tour, which has seen her rise to a career high ranking of 13 in the world. Please make some noise for Tinne Gilis! Number 2 for Loughborough tonight is a man who has the very impressive claim to fame of once knocking Mustafa Rassal out of the British Junior Open. Please put your hands together for Mohammed Al-Shami. His opponent is a man of many talents. He's a magician with a squash racket, he's a physio, he's a coach, and most recently he became a husband after he tied the knot with Colleen Omar just last Friday. I'll resist the temptation to introduce him as Monsieur Omar, because I've already made that joke. But please, congratulate him, welcome him, Adam Auckland! And last on court for Loughborough is a man very active on the PSA World Tour at the moment, with his most recent tournament success coming when he won the Sylvester Trophy in Worcester in February, currently ranked 110 in the world. Please put your hands together for Simon Herbert. And his opponent, playing at number 1 for Nottingham, has stepped in at the last minute, but we hope he's been buoyed by his recent trip to Bermuda, where he made the quarterfinals of the Bermuda Open. Currently ranked 163 in the world. Make some Nottingham noise for Owain Taylor! Congrats, everybody. Enjoy the squash.
Players now just lining up for a quick team photo, Will. I'm going to come straight in. I'm not going to let you see any of the warm-up. What is your prediction for the first match of the evening?
You do love to make it difficult for me, don't you? Straight on the line. I think Madina's feeling supremely confident after her performance at Bucks. I think she likes this glass court. I think she plays well on it. I'm going to go out there and say 3-1 Madina. What about you? Can't not have you answer, can we?
I'm going to agree with you with a Medina win. I'm going to come out and say, I'm going to say 3-love. I'm going to come out and we're going to see a really, really confident performance from her. And she's going to take a convincing victory here. I think her ranking of 312 not particularly reflective of her standard. After coming to the UK to study this year from Pakistan, she's not been able to play many tournaments between that and with COVID. Her rankings dropped significantly from what was inside the top 100 this time last year. So it'll be interesting to see how Maya responds, really, because obviously she's going to know this. She's going to know that she's quite the underdog, even if the rankings don't say that this week. As we saw as well, we'll late minute change to the team sheet with Mohammed El Shami coming in for Loughborough.
Yeah, quite an interesting change. Seen El Shami play a couple of times before. I found him very impressive. I'm not sure if you've seen any of those matches, but I think he, while maybe not being enough to take the win, he could certainly crop up some problems.
Definitely, 21-year-old Egyptian. Turned pro back in 2016. Did you watch him as a junior, Will?
No, I've only seen him playing Bucks, actually. I never saw any of his junior matches, although, as alluded to by RMC in the call-ons, he was clearly a very competent junior, knocking Mustafa Asal out the British Junior Open. Certainly not a mean feat. Mustafa Asal, a very, very good junior.
I can give you a couple of his recent results back in March. He lost in 3 games to Sam Todd, and he lost in 4 games to Fergus Richards. So some tough opponents he's come up against there, and taking a game off Fergus as well, never easy. Not Sam, obviously a quality player, so could see a very interesting match between himself and Adam tonight. I'd like to give a quick shout out to one of the Loughborough boys, actually, who wasn't able to travel up tonight to see the team play, but Ben Merchant, a Loughborough student, wanting to show his support for the team today.
Surprised you're not here playing, Ben, so we could commentate on you.
He was a good junior once upon a time, but his squash has dropped off a little bit over the last few years. I actually played against him in one of my first ever junior tournaments up at the Northern Club at Gosforth in Newcastle. Played him in the first round of a bronze. Got chopped 3-0. But always remember it was a very enjoyable match.
Great fun fact there, Sam. Anyone who beats you 3-0 must be an extremely talented squash player.
He was destined for greatness. He never reached his full potential.
Just heading into the later stages of the warm-up now. We'll be kicking off in just a minute.
Both the girls looking quite relaxed on the court. not letting the occasion get to them at all.
Yeah, I think we might see a ropey couple of first points and we'll settle down after just a couple of minutes of squash and start seeing some quality.
So, both the girls just collecting themselves before we kick off this first match.
Kicking off here, my serving, Madina receiving. Confident start from Madina, no sign of nerves from her.
No. Moving Maya around the court well. First opportunity, she's taken the ball in.
Quick attack though, straight back. That'll settle Maya down nicely.
Good response. Those short shots are effective on this glass court. The ball stays right up near the front of the court.
Yeah, very punishing on the glass court. For our viewers who haven't played on one before, it is a very different experience. You could say it's pretty much a different game of squash on an all glass court versus a normal one.
It'll be interesting to see how Maya responds. Obviously, Madina gets to train on this glass court fairly regularly. I don't think Maya has the opportunity to play on an all glass court relatively often.
Yeah, we might see her taking quite a bit longer to settle in than Madina while she finds her range, finds those short balls.
Yeah, just gave herself a good opportunity there. Hung in for a few rallies and waited for a poor ball from Madina, and just a nervous error really, that one.
Bit loose and erratic here at the start. Hopefully once the players settle down, we'll start seeing some quality length being hit.
It's not a bad kill.
Absolutely ripped in that one.
In these opening rallies with Madina.
So in the opening rallies, I'll be really looking to set out my stall. Get my words out there. I'll be looking to hit quality length, find my width on my cross courts deep, and really just start to get some opportunities to look to take the ball short with some simple straight volleys, straight drop shots. Just keeping the squash nice and orthodox while I play myself into the match. A little bit wild, that one.
Interesting choice from Madina. Smashes the ball out of court off the back wall. She definitely had time to get around that one and just hit a straight drive for me there, Will.
Yeah, certainly.
Right for Nottingham. Now, 7-2.
It's been a flurry of points though here at the start. We can't be more than 3 minutes in and we've had 9 points being played.
There's no long rallies in this game yet, and that's a good hold in the middle there from Madina, just drawing her opponent forward and pushing her to the back again.
Yeah, Maya not looking too impressed with a start. This game's rapidly running away from her.
That's going to be a stroke as well. A 7-point lead Madina's raced to here in what's been just a couple of minutes. You can just see the difference between the width Maya's hitting and Madina's. the cross courts and on the straight balls. Everything's just quite loose and in the middle of the court.
She looks like she's struggling quite a lot with the glass court to me. I've seen quite a few people who've never hit on a glass before make these kind of errors and just completely mistiming the ball or the bounce where they're not used to the difference with the white ball.
Especially with the bright white lights above, it can be quite disorientating and actually quite difficult to get your head around in the first 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Ever playing someone who's not experienced on a glass court, keep chucking that lob up.
4-10, game ball.
Madina really needs to close this one out quickly for me and just not let Maya get any momentum to come into the second game with.
That's going to be a no-let. Yeah, didn't even ask. Solid start from Madina. She'll be looking to carry that momentum forward, while Maya really needs to go and sort her mind out by the looks of it.
Yeah, the first game for Nottingham, and by no means an inspiring performance.
Yeah, it's pushing up the court well. Every time she hit a good length, she was looking to step up, get on that tee, hunt that volley, send it in short.
As you saw with the replay there of the winner, she's just a step in front of Maya and just volleying that loose ball straight and short. It's what she's going to come out and look to do again for the next 2 games, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. She just wants to take this momentum forward. What Maya needs to look to try and do is really find that width away from Madina's volley when she's coming out the back corners, because currently she's just getting stuck behind and Madina's going short at will.
Absolutely.
A short time to reset in squash. You only get a couple of minutes between play restarts, so if you get on a bad run like that, it can be a difficult one to turn around and start producing quality squash off the back of a bad first game, really, by her standards, I'm sure.
Absolutely. On the left of our screen there, you can see just through the sidewall in the green and gold, Mark Fuller, UON, head of squash and team manager for this PSL team. And also Madina's sister, Tinne Zafar, just sat on the bench having a chat with her between games. Do you think they're saying, Will, just good work, more of the same?
Yeah, I don't think they'll have given her too much specific advice between those two. There's no need. You don't want to complicate things for her. You just need to tell her to go out and keep pushing, keep forcing her game.
Absolutely.
15 seconds.
So Madina back on court first here, looking to get things going again quickly. She wants to be serving as soon as possible, doesn't she? She can't wait to get into this second game after that start. I'd just like to see Maya really focus on her straight width hitting here, really, and she just needs to get that ball tight and through and past Madina to the back of the court.
Struggling again straight away here. That's edge of the service box. She's quite lucky to get off with a yes let there, I'd say.
Yeah. The worst thing she can do is just let her nerves overcome her here. But that's well dealt with, that boast.
Subtle bit of deception on there that Madina didn't quite see. Just taking the racket around the back of the ball to send that one straight.
And again with the cross court, sending Madina the wrong way. Good start from Maya.
Clear from those couple of points, Maya likes using a bit of hold or deception, so Madina really needs to take that mid-court away from her when she's got time.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't be giving her time in the middle. A 3-love lead for Loughborough in this second game.
1-3.
I think that often happens though when you win a first game, like Madina did in such quick time. You can even if you're trying to stay in it in your head, it's quite easy to subconsciously switch off and not push like you did before. And the standard gaps are often, well, the standard differences rather, are often quite small. So even a short drop off can take you from winning quite comfortably to losing points.
Absolutely. At this level of the game, every little bit helps. Oh, that is
unforced.
A very unforced area, and really unfortunate. Maya was in an excellent position. Madina was in no man's land there, wasn't she? Completely trapped behind her.
Yeah, I don't think she was going to get anywhere near that one. Maya should have hopefully realised that though and put a good 6-inch margin on that above the tin and just made sure it went up.
Yeah. So both the girls just trading points now. Both seem to be struggling a little bit with the backhand return of serve, actually. Well,
they're both chipping it quite high. They might be having some trouble with the lights though.
Yeah, the lob serve is really effective, and this colder ball can be quite difficult to dig out the back. But that is a
healthy dose of luck.
A healthy dose of luck indeed. The corkscrew from Madina just dropping into the nick at the back of the service box. She won't be complaining. She needed to get that point on the board for me. Well, didn't want to take a 4-love deficit.
No, really important to stay in touch. Great drive there from Madina though. Super tight work. Second bounce was going to be in the back wall nick.
Absolutely. That's what both the girls really need to be striving for, is that length and width, which is just very, very tight running along the wall.
Yeah, it'd have been 3 points if we'd had the shoes on.
Court looking quite dead out there. Both the girls struggling to get forward to some of these lower kills.
Yeah, I think the short rallies really aren't helping. I think that ball is going to be quite cold, so definitely whoever gets the opportunity to attack well first can really capitalise on the ball condition.
Absolutely. I think the unforced errors going short or lack thereof is going to be a really, really important determining factor here today.
No, you need to make...
Maya's really not happy with that one, but from the photos I watched, that is definitely a no let. I thought there was a minimal effort there.
Yeah, her effort to go around there was a definite lack of effort to go around, and Madina's shot quality was actually quite high, the ball dying away into the back of the court.
Yeah, it's not 90s reffing anymore. There's no cheap lets these days. A little bit of contact, so no let.
Absolutely. And Madina now leading in this second game for the first time.
Yeah, finally got our nose in front. I can certainly see her closing this one out. Maya seemed to get really shaken by that decision, and it was a return of serve into the tin. So,
and what we can see in this last kind of third of the game so far is that everything that we've been saying the two girls need to do when it's been nip and tuck, Madina's just really come out and started hitting good, tight, straight lines, and she's gone from 3 points down to 3 points up.
I think it's difficult to overstate at this level how much extra experience playing professional matches, potentially televised matches, glass court matches can have on the game. As we said, it's such a mental battle at pro levels, and whoever's got the momentum's winning the points. And it's all about dealing with these tricky situations that don't necessarily crop up in your normal friendly match as well.
Absolutely. Both these girls have the complete ability to beat each other. And it is, like you say, a massive mental battle on the day. But Madina taking the second of her 3 game ball opportunities there in the second. After trailing all the way until 8-7, she came out at the end, all guns blazing, and got the job done. Like you say, well, I really think that can be down to just to experience in this kind of environment and in these matches.
Yeah, sure, it's often a clear sign of a better player. It looks really tight, the squash. They hit 8 all, and then every single game one player just goes through to 11-8 within the next minute or so, quite quickly, or 11-9. And that's really where the standard difference shows. It gets tight, they step up one more gear, and it just runs away.
Absolutely. A constant in the Loughborough team sheet this year, Will, who's not out tonight, Aaron Allpress, recovering from recent injuries, but back on the pro circuit again. Have you seen Aaron play very often?
Not for a couple of years, since back in the junior days. I don't think I've seen him since uni, and he does appear to have made quite some leaps and improvements. So I was quite looking forward to him playing one of our better boys and seeing where he's at.
Absolutely, he's been having some good results on the PSA this last year. Had the pleasure of watching him play at the University of Birmingham Open, the PSA, just a few weeks ago, and he was definitely performing well and playing really good squash.
Heading back to the present here, just getting ready for a third game. Do you think Maya can reverse the tide, or do you think this one's going to be a foregone conclusion? It's going to be Madina racing off to a 3-love victory in what is really quite a short match for pro levels.
I think if Loughborough were able to field the PSL team again next season for the league, I think we could definitely see Maya coming back and really challenging for this third game. But from what I've seen today, and as it stands, I think Madina's just going to be a little bit mentally tougher, and she's gonna take this third game. First point on the board there for Nottingham.
Yeah, certainly seems more of a mental-based performance deficit rather than a technical one. So another year of experience, another year playing pro, she could really see large improvements.
Yeah, absolutely. Madina's been dealing with these loose balls into the middle really well all match. She's just stepping back, taking her time, and drawing Maya forward, and then really creating that space at the back for her to drive into. Very effective way to deal with that. Safe as well, low margin for error.
Cleaned up a bit this rally.
Absolutely, I was just about to say this is really good from both the girls. Running it nice and tight down that backhand side wall, and Madina getting the better of Maya in that rally, but I'd like to think that it could have gone either way, that one.
Yeah, certainly would like to see a bit more squash in that vein before this match ends. As much as I do enjoy some fast, open, loose, exciting squash, as somewhat of a purist, there is nothing like a rally up and down the backhand side wall.
Absolutely, one of my favourite players to watch, actually, Nicholas Harbour, currently studying for his masters at St Andrews, but graduated after his undergraduate degree in natural sciences from the University of Nottingham. He is definitely one for a backhand alley game. I know you've had the pleasure of hitting with him a few times, Will. How would you describe that experience?
I moved my mental vision of where the tee was into around the backhand service box. He does not enjoy much play away from that, and he loves a 40-minute length game in training.
And in his match. Shaky start from Maya with a few errors, but she looks like she's settling back into this third game a little bit, Will.
Yeah, I think at this point, for her, it's not necessarily about winning the match. It's more about looking to take something away from it. And for that, I'd be wanting to put in a quality performance in the third. Even like, not those volleys into the tin, just looking to find a bit of a length, construct some good rallies. Because at the moment, she hasn't done very much of that. And there's not much to take away.
No, it's like you see there, it's not a particularly great cross-court from Madina. That Maya's taken it at the edge of the service box, but she's so desperate to do something with it that she's just snatching and rushing her shot, and she's just ended up hitting quite a poor unforced error into the tin. 4-8 here. Madina's just gonna want to stay calm and stay focused and get the job done. At the moment, Maya is losing this game rather than Madina having to win it.
Yeah, Maya's consistently hitting quite a lot of errors every game. We've probably seen 5 or 6 errors every game, so Madina doesn't actually have to win that many points here to win each game, does she? Certainly one not to do for the squash player, giving away points.
I think it's fair to say that we're all guilty of that.
Now, on that note of that decision, I'm not a massive fan of those. As someone who plays squash myself, when you hit your opponent sometimes on the swing, it can be very hard to stop when you've already initiated the swing. But she got given a no let there on the basis of having hit the ball instead of stopping. What do you think of that one?
Absolutely. I think depending on the situation, it would be definitely harsh to give a stroke to Maya and a stroke against Madina. But to see that decision as a yes let rather than a no let for me, I think would definitely be the way forward. You know, I don't think Maya loses that rally if she doesn't, or definitely not on that shot if she doesn't hit Madina. But unfortunately for Maya, her campaign against Madina here in the first match has ended, and Madina wins that third game 11-4 to take the match 3-love.
Sure, quite a comfortable win there for Madina. University of Nottingham goes one match up in this PSL Cup round 4. University of Nottingham versus Loughborough. Hopefully for the next match, my prediction will be more on point.
Absolutely, quite disappointed in you, Will. You're normally much better with those. A rare win for me, actually. Not that we're competitive.
Definitely not. Well, we are going to take a short break now, and we'll be back with you for match number 2.
Welcome back, everyone. Adam Auckland for the University of Nottingham, just kicking off in the second match against Mohammed El Shami. That's a fantastic bit of deception. Joining me to provide their insight on this match, Madina's elder sister, Madina Zafar.
Hello, everyone. Oh, that's a beautiful boast there.
It's a lovely boast.
I think it's very effective to play, you know, boast in a glass court, especially when the other player is off guard, not expecting it. It's particularly effective in the glass court.
Well, through the legs there by Adam.
Yeah, good
I agree.
skills. He was the guy introduced him as the guy with the magic hands, didn't he? The magic.
Something along those lines.
There we go.
Oh, look at that touch. Now then, Faiza, before we get into this match,
Yeah.
let's say your thoughts on your sister's performance from just a few moments ago.
Yeah, I thought she played solid. She was well composed throughout the match. We spoke before the match started, and she was a bit hesitant and a bit like
A little bit nervous.
yeah, a little bit nervous actually. And then she and I told her to really go in and, you know, play her best, and that's what she did, I think. I think that's the most solid she's played in a while. So
Good.
happy to have the win for Nottingham.
Absolutely. A 3-love win on the board for the first match of the evening proceedings. Always a great morale boost for the team.
Absolutely, I agree. What are your predictions for this match, Sam?
Predictions for this match.
Yeah.
This is interesting for me, I think. Adam, you know, while an incredible squash player and has had a very good career,
Yeah.
at this stage he is not particularly fit right now.
I see.
I think he's going to look to push hard to beat El Shami in 3 games here, and I think if El Shami can really make him work hard and win one of these first 3 games, then I think it'll probably go to 5.
Okay.
So
That was very well put away on the backhand. It was a sharp drop, I'd say, from the middle. It had a bit of cut, bit of pace, just really. And another one on the forehand. He's doing well there with his drops.
Adam's backhand, he's well known, isn't he, for that side of the court. Absolutely lethal. Pristine technique on the left-hand side.
It feels good to be able to play different shots, you know, from the same place, and that's what I think Adam does on his backhand. Really keeps the player guessing as to what he plays, because he's able to execute different shots from the same position, and that's what makes his backhand really good, I think.
7-3.
Yeah, and he's after trailing for the first few points of the game, he's pulled away now to a confident 7-3 lead.
That's a very healthy looking lead for Nottingham. I don't know if you've seen, but there's a really good crowd that we can't really see in the live broadcasting, but there's a very good crowd here as well at the University of Nottingham, which is great to see.
Not quite as good now that you've moved yourself up here to the commentary box, Faiza.
We'll be joining them back again soon.
I think quite a contrast in styles I've noticed watching El Shami play in the first half of this first game.
Yeah.
Especially on both sides when taking the ball in. I think Adam opts for a really open racket face and plays with a lot of cut on the ball, maybe more so than the average player.
Yeah.
In contrast, I think El Shami takes the ball in with quite a flat racket face. Some of those backhand volley drops, for example, he's really just pushing the ball in with a very flat and very closed racket face instead.
Yeah, I've actually never seen Mohammed play as many matches, but I do see what you mean, because his is a very, you know, smooth as well, actually. All right.
Loose ball there, just getting caught and stuck behind.
And nicely put away by Adam at his very strong side.
What do you think about Adam's colour coordination tonight, Pfizer.
With his racket.
The kind of the neck of the racket, the salmon looking wristband, and the laces on the shoes.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. If that's what he wanted to achieve, I guess.
I think he's been dressed by his wife potentially. Now he's.
Oh yes, of course. Maybe.
Now he's under the thumb, pinned down.
And he's won this very comfortably, 11-3, leading 11-3.
Very strong first game for Adam there.
Very, very solid win for University of Nottingham.
I think after watching that, I'm gonna, lock in my prediction. I don't think it's gonna go to 5-5. I think it's gonna be another 3-0 for the University of Nottingham.
Well, we hope so, and yeah, let's see what Mohammed comes back with. If he comes back with something different, if he's more up for it. I feel like he initially it started really well, but then I think Adam just I don't know, just utilized the spaces better, I guess. Like just place the ball into the spaces, and there's not much Mohammed could do from them.
Yeah, I didn't see Adam getting moved around the court quite as much, and when he was, it was usually an El Shami boast, which then Adam was able to get onto counter drop, and all that actually did was really extend the court for El Shami rather than putting Adam himself under any real pressure.
Yeah, contrary to what I said earlier about boast being effective, it can also be the other way. If the player starts reading it, it just opens the court for them, really.
I think sometimes if you're feeling a little bit outclassed to the back of the court and your opponent is hitting a really, really good and deep line and length, and you're just not able to get out and get in front of them and look to push up in the court to attack, I think sometimes you might agree or disagree as a professional. You've been out there on that court before yourself, and in many similar circumstances. Sometimes maybe you feel a little bit desperate, and kind of the only way you feel like you can attack and work your opponent is the boast when you're stuck in the back. But in reality, as we've seen in this first game, it's actually been El Shami's undoing in a few rallies.
Yes, I agree to that. And sometimes I don't know if you watched Madina's match with Megan, there was too many boasts. That kind of boast we don't want. So yeah, it's a good shot. It's a good way to get your player moving around, but if you overplay it like any other shot, it can really not be very effective.
All right, so Adam serving to kick off this second game.
I don't know if you've seen Laura Massaro play a lot, but she used to boast quite a lot, and it was one of her ways to get the player really moving, especially with the girls.
Yeah, quite similar to Diego Elias in today's game as well.
Yeah.
Using the boast to really move their opponent. A few trick shots there from Mohammed in that first rally.
Missed it by an inch, but yeah, it would have been a really good trick shot.
I think the difference for me, Pfizer, between a really good and effective working boast and a more poor shot that only is going to put you under pressure is whether it is a 2-wall or a 3-wall boast.
Yeah. And which one do you prefer, Sam?
So I think the 2-wall boast is just really, really going to be running away from your opponent, diving into that side wall, nice and short up the court. And like we said, it's going to move your opponent, make them really work. Whereas the 3-wall boast just kind of sits up, pops back out. It's hit a bit too high, it's hit a bit too wide, comes back out at your opponent and just lets them kind of walk onto it and play like anything they want, essentially. It really opens up the court for them a lot.
I agree to that. And there's Mark Fuller just going to the other side.
Stalking across the back of the court.
Yes, I agree to what you've said. And I think it's harder to execute a 2-wall boast than a 3-wall as well, which is why you see a lot of players just randomly putting in the 3-wall, while, like you've mentioned and you've said, that actually it's just an open feed sometimes, really, the 3-wall boast.
Having said that, I do prefer a 3-wall boast.
Why do you prefer it then?
Because all mine drop in the nick, Pfizer.
Oh.
Spend hours doing solo practice of the 3-wall boast.
Into the nick.
Straight into the nick. I'm an absolute nightmare to do boasts and drive with, because you can never drive.
Oh, fancy looking shot, that one.
Very fancy, but maybe not quite the right shot choice.
Yeah, and it's cost him that point, but good to see for the crowd.
Entertaining indeed, but he's got himself into a little bit of trouble in that rally.
Still leading quite. Oh, beautiful drop. I really like how he puts this away. It's got a bit of cut to it. It's not like a push drop. It's got a cut to it. It's played with a bit of pace, and it dies.
It has to have a lot of cut because he plays that shot with a very full swing.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why that's so defective is because until he strikes that ball, you know, El Shami's still waiting at the back of the service box for a straight drive, for a cross-court drive. He's expecting that ball to come back deep, and Adam just, you know, drops his wrist and really sings all of his strings through the ball. And he's able to take it in so effectively, and that is incredibly difficult and highly skilled shot to play.
That is true. I agree to that, and
but something Adam does better than almost anyone else I can name.
It must come naturally to him, because you can't really teach this. Some things just come naturally to you, and probably it's one of those. I mean, you can talk about it, it's really hard to execute, so probably comes naturally to him. Oh, that's nice. This is what I was talking about, you know, putting the ball into the gaps. And that's what Mohammed just did now. Had Adam stuck behind his back and put it in the gap the way Adam just did now. It's really about putting the ball in the gaps, really.
Indeed.
If you simplify it, it's just placing the ball.
Finding the space on the court is a really key aspect of any player's squash game.
I agree, and you find that space by knowing where your opponent is. Where is he in relation to the ball and in relation to you? Which sounds really easy to, you know, think about. Oh, there we have a very healthy lead here again. It's just not even a healthy, it's just a, I don't know what to call it.
A few errors creeping into El Shami's game, Pfizer, and
do you think he's tired? Or is it Adam, like, just not letting him do much?
I think it's probably the latter. You know, this game has really not been. This game really hasn't been very physical for either of these boys. Oh, that is beautiful.
The thing is, Mohammed, the game style I'm looking at, I'm not sure, because like I said, I haven't really seen him play. Is if he'll try his trick shot here and there now and every now and then, like this one. And if you give it to him, he's gonna be able to win. Like, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So you just gotta be very patient with players who play like this. That's
well
another
put away.
nice. Another, you know, it's a 2 lovely for University of Nottingham. Adam leads 2 games to love.
Another strong performance by Adam. He did well to stop the rot there in the second game. Try and, you know, finish off those game balls quickly and not let El Shami gain any momentum.
That's the word I was looking for, momentum. Sometimes with players like the way Mohammed is playing, it's the momentum. Once they get the momentum going, it becomes hard. So it's not an easy one. And let's see if he gets his momentum, if he's got it by now. Or if he comes back and really pushes it. Or if he just plays.
He's played himself into this game.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see is maybe just a tiny bit more patience from El Shami.
Yes.
I know he feels like he's really struggling to win rallies against Adam when he's letting Adam control and dictate from the tee and elongate.
Yeah.
But similarly, when he's taking the ball in from positions where, you know, he's still under quite a lot of pressure and it's, you know, it's not a good percentage shot to play, he's hitting a lot of unforced errors.
Yeah. He really needs to start. You know, when in situations like this, the pep talk or the in-between talk I'd be giving Muhammad would be start with the basics, come back to the basics. You know, we can go with the trick shots later. Even when you do have an opportunity, try and really, you know, like you said, elongate. Try and make rallies here. Try and put in the work. So come back to the basic. Get the ball behind the boxes. Get the width of the cross court. So let's see if he does that or if he keeps to his trick shots, which can be effective, but not. You can't. Every shot can't be a trick shot.
Absolutely. I think we actually saw his best squash in the end of that second game when he was already game ball down. You know, he's 10-2 down, he's got nothing to lose. I think he just really relaxed and settled in. And, you know, he worked Adam around the court well, a few good straight drops, a couple of nice boasts. He forced Adam, who, as I said before, you know, maybe isn't as fit as he's ever been in his career right now. You know, he wasn't moving in particularly well. Forced up a couple of loose lobs, and from those loose lobs, he was then able to, you know, use that Egyptian flair that they all somehow seem to have and really take the ball in very, very effectively. But for me, in the end of that second game, he wasn't just taking the ball in erratically.
Yeah.
He was moving Adam to the front, waiting for more of a looser opportunity, and then choosing his time to attack.
And how do you do that? You do that by... Oh, very well put. That was a lovely drop. And you do that by getting the ball by behind the boxes, playing a length battle for some time. Oh, first and first ever from Adam, isn't it? Maybe.
If it's not the first, it's definitely one of the first. But exactly like you just said, a couple of tins from Adam there, but none of El Shami's shots yet in this third game have actually fallen behind the back of the service box.
Yeah.
All of his lengths are really quite poor.
Here he just played a simple cross. Didn't really go for the cross court drop he's been playing from the last couple of games. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. That's more positive from Mohammed, and a few errors from Adam, which
5-1.
So El Shami running away to a 5-1 lead in this third game.
Oh.
Adam responding very well with a cross-court nick off the serve.
I think you definitely need to have a few of these nick shots in your bag just to get back into it, because sometimes you need them like this.
Yeah, that was a really important point for Adam to get on the board to keep him in this game. And you know, El Shami looking a little erratic in this rally again.
But also he looks more, you know, physically active. I feel like he's gained a bit of momentum we were talking about. He's still got a lead. It's still got a 2-point lead. Let's see if he keeps it or if Adam brings it to a tie.
Trying to be a little bit fancy with the ball again.
Oh. Lucky one, I would say, for Adam, for Mohammed there. Gives him a 3-point lead. Oh, that's the trick shot we were talking about. And see, now that he's played it after 7 points, it's effective because Adam was not expecting that shot. Oh, then he's tried it again and he's gone into the 10.
4-7.
Sam.
Yes.
You seem to be lost. Are we getting some good comments in the chat box?
I've had my eye drawn to the photographer in the front right corner.
Yes.
Steve Cubbins just pointing out in the YouTube live stream that he's maybe not wearing the best coloured top.
9-4.
So Adam, maybe judging by his body language, maybe thinking this this third game is gone.
That's a really nice length. So this is what I'm talking about. A really nice length into the corner. You can't do much out of it. And that's what I think Mohammed needs to do.
Oh, that looked out for me. Yeah. A risky serve that paid off. Just dropping in the lob serve. One of your specialities, Pfizer.
Yeah, it's only speciality in the Jubilee courts. Oh, Mohammed's being a bit impatient here. This is what happens usually. What do you say? How do you deal with a lead, especially at 9?
Yeah, Al-Shami needs to be really, really careful here. You know, he came into this 9-4, 5-point lead, and Adam has rattled off a really, really quick 3 points. And whatever I would do, Pfizer, is definitely not the advice anyone should listen to, because I would probably lose this game 11-9.
And this is the very reason I've asked you this, because we spectators, as well as everyone around, is probably thinking, what should Mohammed do here to get this win?
That is a really, really big point for Adam to win. He's made Al-Shami do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Back corner to front corner.
Oh, he's already
Tight balls. You see Al-Shami
he's on his knees.
just finished tying his shoe, needed a quick break.
Oh, that's a good point for Mohammed.
Not the one to guess for Adam.
Yes.
Just covering that cross-court drop that Al-Shami's been
Flicking.
threatening and flicking across all game.
Oh, he's done. I feel like if you play, see again, just a nice weight.
Beautifully weighted length, wasn't it?
Exactly, and that's all you need at times, and that's all you need. I think people underestimate how important the length is.
Absolutely. So from 9-4 up, Al-Shami.
Oh, he's gone for it. He went for it. Oh,
That's it. A cross-court nick attempt into the floor.
I feel like he's gassed out.
On his last game ball.
Oh, he's already on his knees. So.
I think that rally at 8-9 was absolutely crucial for Adam. And even though he lost that next rally with a great hold and straight flick from Al-Shami.
Another error from Mohammed. I think Mohammed here is thinking, I really don't have another one in my
another game in his legs. He doesn't have enough in the tank.
No, he doesn't have enough in the tank, and that's what he's thinking about. But here's an advice I would give to anyone who's listening and wants to: do not think about the next game while you're in the game you're playing, because
you'll find a way to get through it.
You do, and that's how you build your willpower. So let's see if Mohammed. Oh, that's a nice drop from Adam. 12-10 in the third.
A great comeback in the third game for Auckland.
That's a 3-love win for University of Nottingham again.
He must have known I had money on that match. My 3-love prediction coming up top again. And that is now a 2-love lead to the University of Nottingham against Loughborough in this 4th round.
Next up is the girls, which is Tinne from University of Nottingham.
From Belgium, but residing in Nottingham when she's not away playing tournaments.
Yeah.
And Millie Tomlinson, also a local girl, trains here at Nottingham regularly.
Yeah.
They hit together quite a lot at the park.
They do. And I don't know if you know, but also doing a law degree, I think, in Masters in Law.
Is she?
Yes.
Where's she doing that? Do you know?
I think it's in Trent, but I'm not 100%. But yeah, so it's good to see. Good. I think she was probably doing it during COVID, and she might be done with it now. That's when I last met her, and she was struggling with her injury back then, but now she's good to go.
She is, yeah. Millie's ranking not quite up where she's been previously. You know, yes. Maybe kind of like 20, 25 ranking points behind where she'd like to be right now in the world. And she's up against a very, very in form Tinne Gilis.
A very in form. Yes, exactly. That's the word.
Millie with a highest world ranking of 20 back in July 2019.
It's going to be interesting to see how Millie does against Tinne today.
Absolutely.
What are your predictions?
Tinne hitting her highest world ranking of number 13 just this month, Pfizer.
Yes.
With Millie all the way back down at 73, following those injuries and time out that she's had. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see if she can still perform at that kind of top 20, top 25 level.
Yes, what's really nice for me to see is the color coordination. She has done purple skirt with purple
shoes.
I love it.
A lot of colour coordination tonight then. Adam, now Millie. Got to look good for the camera.
And if you've noticed, actually, Tinner's got black and white, and then black and white for her shoes as well, I think.
No way.
That is an excellent observation, I think.
Very good observation. You are on it, Pfizer. Now then, my 3 love predictions have been haven't failed me so far.
Yeah, they're.
So to the possible dismay of any Loughborough listeners watching, I've not been wrong so far. The Oracle has spoken. I'm going to go for a third 3 love to the University of Nottingham. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to predict a 3 love for Tinne as well. She's in form, she's playing well, and yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I would really, really love to see Millie come out here and give us a really, really strong performance that she, like in the squash that she knows she can play, in the squash that she's played in previous years. And contrary to the last 2 matches where we've, kind of had 2 underdogs, and I would definitely describe Millie as an underdog again in this match, but a much, much more experienced one. She's represented at the highest level.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be under any pressure really, because she knows that she's up against Tinne, who's been playing well on tour. She's just come back from injury as well. So I don't. If it was me in Millie's spot, yes, I would definitely want to win, but I won't put myself under a lot of pressure to do. It's different in team games as well, because you want to do it for the team. So there's an additional motivation as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely. Squash, as we know, a very, very individual sport. But I think team squash really brings out the best in players.
I play well in team squash, and I really enjoy it then. If the biggest match I won in team squash was for a position match in South Korea, actually, in juniors. And yes, my match was the deciding match, and it was a 3-2, but I won that one. So I don't think I've ever lost a deciding match in team squash. Definitely.
Well, I'd definitely like to have you on my team then, Pfizer.
Yeah, I'm a team player for sure. I don't like to let people down.
And you and Madina this summer, hopefully, will be representing Pakistan.
Yeah, that's
at the Commonwealth and potentially the Asian Games.
Hopefully that's the plan, and they haven't announced the squad yet, the Pakistan Squash Federation. But yeah, we're going to Pakistan to the training camp, and we'll see.
Hopefully, get your name on there. Definitely love to see you playing.
Yeah.
So my question to you then, Pfizer, having represented your country and had the opportunity to play in some fantastic places, what is what's the highlight of your squash career? If there's one match in your career that you wish that you could play all over again, what match would it be?
It's difficult to jot down, but
if you can't pick one, can you give me a top 3?
I think I really enjoyed representing Pakistan in the Commonwealth in Australia, and my first match was against Donna.
Donna Lobbin?
Yes, so she was home favourite. It was my first ever time to play on the glass court with the pink lights, and and first ever time to play on the glass court in such a big event. So I think if I could go back in time and play that, I would play that differently, and yeah, maybe enjoy that occasion and the cherish that opportunity better.
That would be amazing. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, the 2018 Commonwealth Games were in the Gold Coast.
Yes.
Not the worst venue you could have gone to, is it?
No, definitely not. And the Glasgow was amazing. The place was amazing, and that's one thing I would like to go and do again.
Would you say that's kind of the most media-focused event you've been at? Obviously, the Commonwealth Games is a huge, huge sporting event, not just for squash, but for sport in general.
I agree, yeah.
It must have been an incredible experience.
It definitely was, and hopefully I can play again this year as well. Looking forward to it.
And so are we. But back to the match at hand now. Tinne Gilis just kicking off this third match of the evening, serving against Millie Tomlinson. I think what we're going to see from Tinne straight off the bat is she's going to be trying to push a really, really tough pace. That's how she loves to play regardless, hard and fast. But I think, against a Millie who's coming back from injury and maybe, not had the same number of professional matches, and she's not quite on the pace as much right now. She's going to look to capitalise on that even more than usual.
Yeah.
If you're looking to push the pace in a match, Faiza, what would you look to be doing on the court if you were on there right now?
I think the best way to push the pace and make the other player uncomfortable is to really hunt for the volley. Take the time away from the player. It's a very effective way to push the pace up of the game. Yes, hitting hard is one way, but if you just take the time away, that's putting in a lot of pace in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a concept that sometimes club players can misunderstand and misinterpret.
Yeah.
And much, much more important than hitting a hard ball is to take the ball early.
Yeah.
And to have a high tee position and look to get on everything just as soon as you can.
Yeah, it makes, when someone's really volleying against me, it's really hard for me it makes me uncomfortable, because then I'm scrambling here and there.
It's very hard to move that individual off the tee, isn't it, and get them unsettled. As you can see here, Tinne really just moving herself in and around the service boxes, where she's got Millie heading into all four corners. But things getting opened up a little bit more there.
I think that was nicely put away from Millie. It was
punished the loose ball well, didn't she?
Took the space.
Yeah, it's one way to describe it. Tinne complaining about a little bit of a block there, but looked clean enough to me.
Yeah, I agree.
If Tinne's going to play a loose ball, she's going to get punished for it.
Yeah. I think Millie's settled in better now.
She is, yeah, definitely. Just updating the score. I believe it's 2-3.
Yeah, Millie's got a unique backhand swing. Really, I think it
Neither of these girls for me have the most orthodox technique.
Yeah, I agree.
Great lob out of trouble there from Tinne. From Millie, sorry. I think this is the first game that we're going to see a really, really effective use of height.
Yeah, I agree. Especially at the professional level, you see players use a lot of lob to get out of trouble, to change the pace a bit, to add variety to their shot set.
Absolutely. So my next question was going to be, if you were now in Millie's shoes, how would you alleviate this pace and this pressure that Tinne's putting on you? But we've just answered that question, or Millie's answered it for us. She's, as we said, definitely going to be looking to play the straight lob, the cross-court lob, get the ball up and out of Tinne's reach, get her off the tee.
Yeah, thinking for that, to do that, you have to be patient. So I think a lot of players miss the in trying to win points, in trying to, win the rally. I think you gotta be patient as well, and I think Millie's doing that so well.
Maybe a little bit commentator's curse there, Pfizer.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because I was hoping that Muhammad would do that, but he didn't. So yeah, it's good to see that Millie's trying to go on those lines. Oh, that's a nice cross from Tinne.
7-3.
A really difficult whip to deal with. Just dying away into the side wall. And after what was really quite a positive start from Millie, a healthy lead opening up for Tinne in this first game. Yeah, that was down for me. Tinne happily conceding.
4-7.
What do you think about this glass court at the University of Nottingham?
I actually really like this glass court, Pfizer.
Yeah.
We have the benefit of it being quite new, so obviously a little bit more lively than some of the older permanent courts at Manchester and at Sheffield. But I actually think it plays really, really well. Definitely one of the better glass courts I've played on.
Yeah. And it's so good to see this really long rally between the two girls.
Absolutely, some exciting squash. Millie really playing herself into this game, not letting herself be intimidated by Tinne's game whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really, really positive rally for Millie there for me. She's moved Tinne around really well. She's defended very well, but she's also attacked very well.
Yeah, and Tinne did not seem very happy in between with one of the shots, but yeah, she's got back into it well. So yeah, it's a really good rally to see from both the girls.
Could be trouble there for Millie. She's been defending a few balls in a row.
Yeah, that was nicely put away as well.
8-5.
I think I just see food.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry. So Tinne leading 8-5. Good 3-point lead. So yeah, like we said about the lob, which Millie is using really well. Oh, she read that well.
She did. Millie coming back strong here in the business end of this first game.
Yeah.
6-8.
Only 2 points behind. This is a very important rally for Millie if she wants to stay in touch with Tinne here and stand a real chance in this first. She needs to play this well for me. It was quite a poor forehand drop, but she's recovered well.
Oh, she went for the
Went for the Hollywood.
Yes. Can be very tempting. I give you that.
Certainly can. Takes a very strong mental game to be disciplined every single rally.
That was a good lunge into drop.
Yeah, strong movement and a strong shot from Tinne to give herself 4 game balls in this first game. She's playing some tight lines here on the backhand side. Good movement from Tinne to keep herself in this. It's one of the toughest rallies we've seen of the match. Oh, and that's clever. Millie playing through some interference there, not stopping and fishing and looking for the stroke.
No, and then placing it into the gap.
Yeah, confusing and stalling Tinne's movement a little bit by playing the ball back towards where she was and making her stop her movement and turn around can be super effective. But she's not going to get to that. She's gone for the cross court nick again, and Tinne read it that time. She was on it, played the counter drop to close out this first game, 11-7. So the University of Nottingham 1 game up in this third match. A few down there now, Pfizer. What kind of advice would you give to Melly between these 2 games? She's, you know, she's played well there in that first, and she kept in touch with Tinne for stages of the match, but almost seemed to lose focus in other stages. It was, you know, it was very even, and then we'd have a kind of a flurry of points from Tinne, and then it was quite even again. How would you try and coach Millie?
Yeah, I think I would just tell Millie to be positive, because I think she's playing well and she's staying in the rallies really well, but she really needs to not and be a bit more patient when she's got the volley, because she could just play it straight. Really, she doesn't need to go for the fancy break. I personally thought that was the only thing that I would advise her on. Other than that, yeah, I think she's playing well to stay in with Tinne.
Well then, let's see what she comes out with in this second game. Tinne getting herself back on court, raring to go.
Yeah, I think Tinner's going to be more aggressive and try and, you know, even try and not have that score line that we just saw. I think she's going to try.
Just look at that knock-up. She's walked on court, she's got her nose on the front wall, and she's firing in short, sharp, fast volleys, and that's what she's gonna look to come out and do in this second game.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what Millie does in this game, but I think she's going to be more. She would need to be more patient with her volley.
Second game underway here, and it's something rare in squash, but we see a bit more often in tennis, an ace. Millie just whiffing that serve off the sidewall. There's the 2-all burst I was talking about in the previous match.
Yeah.
That ball was just going to be dying away into the sidewall, running away from Millie, really making her stretch out, and a tough, difficult movement to play that. Fantastic opening to this second game, this rally, Pfizer.
I agree. It's really good to see all 4 corners of the court being used to get the ball player moving.
Absolutely. Both girls attacking well, defending well, to the back and to the front.
And this is going to be a tough rally, so it's going to be crucial who gets this point. Oh, Tinne's made the lead. She's not
poor-
happy with it.
Yeah, poor error in a good position on the volley, and you can see that she's frustrated with it.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be after that long rally.
She needs to stay positive here, though.
Yeah, I think that's
Ooh,
what.
that's a wicked boast.
Yeah,
Nothing you can do about those,
there's
is there?
nothing really. Just accept it. I think Gina Kennedy uses a lot of boast as well to attack as an attacking shot, I feel, to create opportunity for the next shot as well.
She definitely did, yeah. I think it's actually something that she's not implementing as much in her game in the last month or two.
I agree.
But as we saw her really, rising through the top 100 and through the top 50, something she loved to do was to play a boast and then use her speed to counter-attack her opponent off that boast, whatever they did off that boast.
Yeah.
And I think as she climbed through the rankings and, she was more consistently getting into and getting deeper into the silvers, the golds, even the platinums, those loose boasts that she loved to counter off were really causing her a lot of trouble against some of the stronger girls.
Yeah.
So I think now she's playing a much, much more mature game of squash. But I absolutely agree with you. In the, just a year ago, she was using that boast a lot in her game.
Yeah. That's a brutal rally again, and
it was a very tough rally. Tinne on the winning end of that one, and being rewarded by a loose return of serve and a quick point straight after it, Faiza. Maybe merely feeling the after effects of that one a little bit.
Yeah, I think really tough rallies. And Tinne's probably used to these and used to that heart rate.
Yeah, it's like we were saying earlier before the match, wasn't it? A little bit more recent experience on the circuit, playing these professional level matches. It's just something that you can't quite simulate in training, is it?
No matter how much you try, it's just different every time you're on court in a proper match. It's just different. You're pushing yourself more, you're in it more, so which sometimes you do not have in practice. And the pressure. I think it's also the pressure.
I think that's a huge thing that people can sometimes underestimate, is the mental fatigue that you put on yourself
pre-match
from the pressure, pre-match, in the match. It can be really, really tough to separate yourself from the expectation.
No, I agree. I think this is something almost all professional players struggle with.
The human ones, anyway.
Yes. Some hide it better than the others, I guess, but everyone is struggling with this pressure that we create for our own selves. And that's really nice volley there from Millie Tomlinson. Just a cross-court volley.
Beautiful cross-court fadeaway, wasn't it?
Yes, fadeaway. Mark Fuller's. Is it his signature shot?
It's one of his signature shots. Plays it very well. It's been better squash for me than the first game, but unfortunately for Millie, it's been better squash from both these girls.
Yes.
I think both of them have come out and upped their game a little bit again. And we're looking at kind of a similar scoreline to the first, but these rallies are definitely the best match of the evening so far for me, Faiza. Some sensational rallies tonight.
Yeah, I agree to that. I think both the girls are doing really well in terms of constructing the rallies. And that's the difference you see between the girls who are playing now and the girls who played in the past. is the difference of how they win the points. It's not just erratic shot here or there. It's constructing these rallies and winning off.
What do you think about that decision, Pfizer?
What was it? It
was a yes let given.
Yeah, I agree. It was a yes let.
Just for a bit of safety.
Yeah. It was definitely no let, but could have been a stroke. Oh, that was a tight.
She's done very well to play that ball, actually.
Yeah.
Impressed that she's not stopped for the stroke there. Kind of got a racket caught on Tinne a little bit and then brought it through and managed to play the ball, even though it was very tight.
Yeah, I think this is what I've seen in Millie's game. She plays through the balls. She's not really looking to... She's not fishing real much. Going
back to that first decision, though, for me, Pfizer, if the explanation from the referee isn't just a bit of safety, you know, Millie not sure if she's going to hit Tinne on her swing there. If the referee deems that she can play that ball, then it should be a no let. And if she can't play that ball, then it should be a stroke.
Yeah, I think... do you see that kind of refereeing at PSL level as well?
Absolutely, we've got top level referees here.
Okay, that's good to see.
John Mazzarella tonight.
Well, then I'm happy with the decision then. You know, you gotta keep your trust in the. Oh, it's a 10-4, but like you said, the scoreline really doesn't
reflect the quality of the squash we've seen, does it?
Doesn't do justice to the.
Millie playing some really, really great squash, but just struggling to produce the end result in these rallies, isn't she?
Yeah, and I think this is good for her to get back into.
Tinne, incredibly tough player to break down, and also showing us this evening that she can put the ball away just as well too. So a comfortable looking 11-4 there. Never felt Tinne was under any real big problems in that game. You know, the rallies were long, the rallies were tough, but she upped her level just as Millie did and was getting on top when it mattered.
Seconds.
Such an intense match that Pfizer's had to get herself a sandwich.
We're starving. Just looking at them really put this effort and.
What have you got yourself?
Only the very best plant-based meal.
Plant-based meal. Are you a vegetarian, a vegan?
No, I wouldn't call myself a vegetarian or a vegan, but I prefer this over meat for sure.
Quite a few athletes these days opting for a plant-based diet, aren't they?
Yeah, I think James Wilstrop's he's a vegan, if I'm.
Is he James
Yeah,
Wilstrop?
he's always been a vegan, I think, as far as I can recall.
Do you know if Vanessa and the kids are as well, or is that just James?
We'll have to ask James about it then.
Next time I see him, Pfizer, I'll make sure to mention it and let you know. It's well finished from Tinne. Simple squash to win what was again another very good opening rally in this third game. I really, really hope Millie can get herself into this. It's been great squash so far. I'd love to see a few more games of it.
Yeah, so he transitioned from being a vegetarian to a vegan.
Is this James?
This is James Wilstrop. And we have a few other players on tour who are also pursuing a plant-based diet.
Yeah, definitely. Tinne again there, just showing a little bit of frustration at Millie's movement off the ball, but a very rare thing to see in the professional game, a serve out of court. You just can't be throwing points away like that at this level, can you?
No, but with the lob serve, there's always that chance.
Would you say that the benefits outweigh the risks, especially on this glass court with the white ball falling from the bright lights? It can be a very difficult serve to deal with.
I agree, but at the professional level, as you've said, you're not going to really win off the serve unless they obviously hit a nick off it. But so I think the risks outweigh the benefits.
So you personally would opt not to hit the lob serve then in your game?
No, 2-3.
Tinne just striking the ball out of court there. Neither of these girls want to win the match. They both want more squash.
It's been a while I've played on this glass court. Watching these girls play is really making me want to play.
Yeah. Struggling with a little bit of a knee injury yourself at the moment, aren't you, Pfizer?
Yes, it's getting, I think it's been better the last couple of days. Oh, that's a nice trickle burst there.
I'm not sure it was intentional, but it did the job.
I feel like the position the racket was in, it felt like she intended it, but, you know, you never know.
Owen Taylor, University of Nottingham #1. Obviously backing my 3-love prediction as well. He's warming up. Ready for his game, last match on tonight.
Have you seen Owen play Simon before?
I have not seen Owen play Simon before. I've seen both of them play quite a few times though. I think it should be a really good match to watch. Owen, as the MC said earlier, just back from Bermuda, actually landed back in the UK at Heathrow 7 AM this morning.
Oh, that's a tough one. But I've seen him play and he's been doing really well on the tour. He beat the #2 seed for the tournament in Bermuda, which is really good to see because whenever you're up against a seeded player, there's always, you know, that added, that person is the seed, so it's probably good.
He has, yeah, obviously basing himself in Nottingham, but from Wales. He's had a really exciting last month or so with a couple of 10Ks out in Canada, obviously then European teams, and then, like we said, just back from Bermuda this morning. As you alluded to, some great results, taking out Chris Hansen, world number 63.
Yeah, so not just in terms of results, I think he would have learned a lot from those matches as well, and that's how you really grow as a player, from winning these tough matches, winning these games, and yeah.
Absolutely, got himself into the
The
semi-finals of one of those 10Ks, losing out unfortunately to Nick Wall, the eventual winner.
Yeah, that was really good performance there as well, and
that's a A stroke to Loughborough, unfortunately for Tinne, to lock the girls in at 5-all in this third game.
This is really exciting to see that it's gone to a close 5-all in the third. So Millie's still wanting it, still hunting for it.
Absolutely. Well, she knows that Simon and Owen are going to have a really, really good game. Obviously, Simon actually the higher ranked player of the two at 110, Owen at 163, but I would say Owen definitely playing above his ranking right now. Simon's going to know that too. It's going to be a really great match, and Millie's looking to enable Simon to tie this match up for Loughborough overall. Obviously the University of Nottingham 2 live up at the moment, with 4 matches being played in total.
Yeah, it's really good to see this game going to a close tie at 5-all in the third game. Good for the crowd, good for your entertainment as well. Some good brutal rallies in there.
Yeah, some really brutal squash.
I've got a really
These
yummy
girls taking chunks out of each other on the court, and that is very well put away.
tight. It was tight.
It was tight, it was short, and Millie with a visible display of frustration.
It's one of my favorite shots, volley drop.
That forehand side, you're very strong there.
Yeah, I do feel comfortable taking a shot on the forehand more than my backhand. What about yours? What about you, Sam?
Probably say the same. I'd say my forehand's been a little bit more consistent recently, but I'd say my own squash is quite positive. I quite like to take the ball in, but no one cares about me, Pfizer, so we'll get back to the game that we're watching. Not 100% sure what's happened there. Both the girls taking a quick breather. A little bit of contact, perhaps.
Yeah. I think it hit Millie on the back swing, so... Oh, sorry, it hit Tinne on the back swing or something. Oh, we've got a replay, so let's see what's
Action
happened.
replay. We've got a fantastic media team here with us tonight.
I think a decision's being made, or is it being... Oh,
just I'm not 100% sure what John gave there, actually. I didn't actually hear him say anything. Both the girls waiting expectantly for a decision, and I have no idea what happened.
Oh, that's nicely put away. She was there. She had she bent through it, and it was good. It was lovely backhand drop.
Really, really good backhand drop, and Millie read it and was right up on it. Had to be excellent quality to win that rally, didn't it? But, John Mazzarella being uncharacteristically quiet. Normally likes to make sure he's heard. Haven't actually... not 100% sure of the score. Well, it looks like Tinne is really running away with it, actually.
Yeah.
From a really, really tight opening and midsection of the game, she's now got a 3-point lead.
It's only going one way now. With Tinne match ball for University of Nottingham.
Will she close it out? 5 match balls to give the University of Nottingham a 3-love lead. And that's 1 save for Millie. Really, really confidently taken in. Can't believe in those balls. Shoulder height, loose out there on the forehand side. Gonna get picked off at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's a stroke. Oh, he's been given a let.
Yes, like there. Referee feeling that she's maybe a little bit too eager to stop. Just enough room to play that ball, you thought?
Yeah, we like this. Oh, it's an out one.
Ooh. Wasn't 100% sure about that one. Look, definitely was very close. Tinne needs to just take a deep breath, knuckle down here, make sure she stays focused.
And that's what she's doing. She's pumping herself. Did a little bit of a hop.
She still has 3 match balls here. She won't be panicking yet. Oh, and that's a loose shot from Millie, really well punished into the back of the court. Some truly fantastic squash from these two girls. But the eventual winner, after a thrilling 3 games, is Tinne Gilis for the University of Nottingham.
And University of Nottingham leads three
matches.
1 to go. And I would like to sign up now.
That's it, folks. Faiza's off. That's all you're getting from her. Some very, very exciting squash. And some really, really good squash from Millie Tomlinson as well, actually. I was very impressed with her game out there tonight.
I think she really gave it her all, and it was good to see the kind of...
What are you doing back here? Faiza looking around, wondering who I'm talking to. It's her sneaking back into the commentary box. Said her farewells, and then she was straight back on it. Couldn't get enough. She's actually gone now, I think. Oh, she's back. Thank you very much for tonight, Faiza. Really enjoyed commentating with you this evening.
Yeah, it's always good to see and comment on these amazing PSL matches, especially at the University of Nottingham with a great platform, with a great grass court, good crowd, and a good big screen to comment from.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Until next time.
Until next time. Simon Herbert there, just getting himself on court. Owen Taylor and Simon just knocking up. And we'll be back in just a few minutes to see them kick off shortly. back with me for this final match of the evening. Will, good to have you back in the commentary box.
Great to be back. Really looking forward to this men's first string match. Owen Taylor of Nottingham against Simon Herbert for Loughborough.
It's top quality match. Both of these boys highly ranked on the PSA and having some really good recent results. As we said, Owen 163, Simon 110. But I think both of these boys are playing a top 100 standard of squash at the moment, to be honest with you, Will.
Yeah, definitely from what I've seen recently. I think the last result, talking to Owen earlier, he said they played in January or February, and he managed to win that one 3-1. Obviously a bit different today.
Was that in a PSA?
League, I think, as well. Obviously different here on the glass court. Simon does love it with his short game, and Owen being fresh off his flight.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said earlier, just Owen off the plane 7 AM this morning from a pretty brutal time difference as well in Bermuda. Having been away in Canada before that as well. That's a fantastic length. Yeah, as you said a second ago, Simon Herbert certainly has a very attacking game of squash. He's not shy to fire that ball into the front of the court at all, is he, Will?
Absolutely not. I think we'll see some exciting squash here. A few times where you're expecting a straight drive and he's firing it in short instead.
Absolutely. As I said earlier, I think I had the pleasure of seeing Simon play down at the 5K in Birmingham just a month or two ago. And honestly, one of the single most ridiculous games of squash I've ever seen was Simon in approximately 90 seconds going 10 love up against Philip Girotta. Hit about 8 rolling nicks in a row. Literally serve, return, nick. It was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. I'm not sure Owen's going to be giving him those opportunities tonight.
Yeah, I think Owen's a bit of a high caliber of player. He's going to be keeping it tighter and away from those sprayed out in the middle opportunities. We can already see the flip side to Simon's personality. He doesn't mind a bit of chew with the ref.
He doesn't, no. He certainly loves a bit of chat, and John will certainly give it back to him. Well, hopefully we get a nice, clean match this evening that all of the squash fans can enjoy.
Yeah, I really don't think it's in Simon's best interest to make this aggy, and definitely not physical. He's a bit outmatched in size on there.
Yeah, so Owen is he's a unit. He's an absolute unit. 6'3". Maybe.
I believe our famous contemporary Oran has described him before.
He has, yes. Any viewers want to go back and troll through the archives? Big Buck semi-finals 2019. But Owen, he's an immovable object, and Simon is not an unstoppable force. So, as you said, maybe not in his best interest to make things super physical, but he's playing well here. He's got Owen on the ropes. A strong start for Loughborough. Pulling away to a quick 6-1 lead, Will.
Yeah, it's evident. Simon really imposing his style of play here. Lots of short balls, 2-all bows, drop shots. Absolutely lethal on this glass court.
Stroke to Loughborough. Stroke to Loughborough. 7-1.
Just clipping Owen, causing him to miss the ball there.
I'd like to give a little shout out to our friends and UN alumni, Oran Imla and Nick Harbour. I know they're massive fans of Simon, so they're probably watching him play right now. Hello,
they
boys.
Are. I think I'm not actually sure who they'll be supporting in this one, Will. Simon's ball just nicking the outer court line, and Owen getting the scoreboard rolling again. It'd be good to see him try and come back in this game, but that's quite a poor lob.
Yeah, I think it might take him a while to get the legs moving and the engine going. Saying earlier, just fresh off the plane back from Bermuda today, so might be a bit stiff from the long flight.
Absolutely, a bit stiff, a bit sore, but that is that's the life of a professional, and this is his career, so he's going to have to get things moving if he wants to get a result tonight. I did actually try and get Tinne up here in the commentary box with you all for a short stint, but she politely declined.
Shane, would have been all right to have a quick pre-match, post-match interview, very rather. Quite a strong performance there against Millie from her.
It was, yeah. Were you down in the crowd watching that one?
Yeah, just down on the seating, enjoying a bit of squash before I had to come back up here.
Simon comfortable with his 7-point lead here, starting to go for a few exhibition shots in these rallies.
Not afraid to slot for a stroke though.
Potentially a little bit harsh, that one, but I think the ball was just too close to Owen. But yeah, whether Simon was ready to play that one or not, especially cross court, is a question to ask.
Rapid fire first game here. Not gone the way Owen would have liked, I'm sure, but that does not look good.
Simon just taking a little slip. I think he's okay, to be honest. Well, that didn't look super severe.
Yeah, no contact or anything there. Just pulled up on that lunge. I'm not sure if we're going to get to see that one again, but would be interesting to have a look.
Yeah, it just looked like when he planted his front foot, it just slipped away from him ever so slightly. Hopefully he's just holding his ankle there. Hopefully he's okay. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, just jarred a bit, I think, when he put his foot down.
Ever so slightly. He's walking around, shaking it off. Hopefully he's okay. Still 7 game balls for Simon. That is very, very well finished.
It's a way to finish a game.
Beautiful front straight drop. Owen shaking his head. He's not happy with that performance, and hopefully we see him come out in the second with a little bit more gusto, Will.
Yeah, I did think Simon might be going for the cross-court nick off that return of serve after that ankle, but very slick finish into the front right with that drop shot after.
Absolutely beautiful. Very well played.
All eyes on Owen now then. Does he have the mental and physical capacity to back up from that first game loss?
I think he does well. The thing I'm questioning is whether he wants it. Honestly, he's going to be upset with me for not getting behind him, but I think Simon might win this one. Nottingham with a healthy lead in this match, but I think maybe Owen's just gonna rest a little bit, and he might potentially let this one go. I think he does have what it takes to go out and beat Simon, as you say, getting a 3-1 victory in their most recent league meeting a few months ago. But Simon, all credit to Simon. Certainly Owen not throwing this game by any means. Simon playing some incredible squash in that game. He didn't let Owen get anywhere near him, did he?
No, he just fired it in from start to finish and barely made an error.
Absolutely. Hardly any unforced errors, and from the back of the court all the way to the front of the court, he just looked incredibly dominant in all areas, really. So it'll be interesting, as you say, to see how Owen comes out and responds. I really hope we see him firing and see him really dig in and get himself into this match. I think that all depends on the start of this game, to be honest, Will. If Simon pulls away early, I think Owen is not gonna look to really get himself back into it. But if he can stay with Simon and potentially even get himself a small lead, I think things could change entirely.
Yeah, nothing like getting a few points on the board to G up the body a bit when it's feeling sore. Although I do think the story of this match is going to be how Simon plays.
Absolutely, as we saw there, just an unforced error to give Owen the first point of this second game. backhand drop into the tin, but responding well, settling himself down. Fantastic cross-court length and width, but Owen just couldn't quite dig out the back of the court. So seen his name up in lights there potentially. Well, Simon Rosner-esque, the jumping slam dunk cross-court nick from the back of the court, getting fired into the floor. Not quite what he was hoping for. Owen just needs to settle himself down a little bit here, I think, as just needs to make sure he keeps his composure when he's got chances and when he's on top.
Yeah, really look to extend some rallies. You know, Simon plays a very attacking brand of squash. Clearly, as seen, he hits a lot of winners, but no one can do that all the time. You also get the return, you get the errors.
Absolutely. I think it's, as I've said all night, to be honest, I think it's crucial that Owen, first and foremost, just hits a really, really good line and length. Obviously, he's won a few points here off some errors from Simon, but that was a loose, lofted ball on the forehand that could quite easily have rolled out the nick instead.
Yeah, you're just really never safe against this kind of player. Even when you've got a few point cushion, when they can hit 3 nicks in a minute, suddenly you're back to tie and you don't really know what's happened.
Exactly, how there's really, really difficult to respond to that and to counter that. So just taking that opportunity away from them completely is really the only thing that you can look to do against them.
Playing this kind of play, all about staying solid, believing in the game plan, knowing that the errors are going to come eventually.
Right on cue. There's
I'm a prophet.
not a fantastic length from Owen there, but just tight enough to tempt Simon into the cross-court flick from behind himself and giving Owen an error. And a complete scoreboard reversal from the first game, but that's exactly what you were just talking about, isn't it, Will?
Yeah, even on a shot where you should have a lot of control on the serve, against this kind of attacking brand of squash, you're not safe.
What do you think about that decision, Will? Owen showing a lot of effort to get round Simon and get through to the ball there.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, Mark has been a little up and down tonight, a bit inconsistent at times. Obviously no video review system here though, so you just got to get on with it.
Yeah.
Clear the mind.
Another error from Simon there. So a 3-point lead for Owen in the midsection of this game. Maybe getting himself back into the match a little bit.
I think he might have only hit 1 winner this game and had 5 errors off Simon.
I think you might be right, and just a slightly fortunate ball catching the sidewall nick there. I'd really love to see this game settle down and produce some top quality squash from these boys, Will, to finish off the night. They're both capable of playing some incredible stuff. That rally is a little bit more like it for me. Owen getting himself on top, working the ball in really nice and tight down those straight lines.
Looking a little bit more like he wants it now.
Absolutely. Simon just enabling Owen to get himself mentally into this match and really showing his frustration between points there. He knows he's given away 6 or 7 points this game in tins, and he's, my goodness, he's kind of just going all out.
Someone needs to check that ball, I think. That is very, very good. Supremely difficult shot to play, getting that angle right on the Aussie boast.
Yeah, certainly.
Don't see many of those from you in our training hits.
Absolutely not. I think for any potential God of War fans out there, Owen might have the physicality of Kratos, but I think it's fair to say that Simon may share his mentality. Really, really important that Owen focuses up here and does what he needs to do, because this you know, he's let a good cushion slip when he really had Simon quite on the ropes.
Yeah, we've been chatting away for a couple of minutes, and suddenly it's almost back to parity here.
Absolutely, and even just in that rally there, lucky to get away with that really poor shot out into the middle.
Yes, like.
Maybe that's the inconsistency that you've been talking about, Will. Owen with a broken string. What do you think about that?
The ball was nearly past you.
It's not a yes let is the main takeaway from that for me. It's the kind of situation where if you're there and ready to play it, it's a stroke, and if you're not, it's a no let. And for me, Simon was ready to hit that one.
Maybe more of a stroke than a couple of the other balls we've had that were a similar scenario for me. I'd have to agree with you there. Quite a soft decision from the referee.
No complaints from Owen though, keeping him in it.
Absolutely not. So still leading by 1 point, Owen, as we come into the business end of this second game, 8-7. Or I should probably say Simon serving 7-8. That looked down to me.
Yeah, just clipping the top of the tin there, I think.
Yeah, Simon conceding that one. Really firing this ball in at every opportunity he gets, isn't he, Simon? Owen doing very well to get that on the front wall.
Just snatching at that one a bit, sending it up into the light.
Yeah, came at him very quick at the body. Clever from Simon. I'm not 100% sure whether he intended it, but it worked very effectively. And that is an incredibly clean line.
Absolutely. Owen presenting himself with a game ball.
2 game balls, Will. An opportunity here, squandered slightly. Tempo's up now, Will. Both of these boys are really feeling this game.
Yeah, Simon continuing to try and force the issue here.
Absolutely. Owen wanting to take this one quickly, and Simon only being 2 points behind, confident he can fight it back. Nottingham's number 2, Adam Auckland, behind us at the vending machine. What are you going for, Adam? Kinder chocolate, a good choice.
Got to get some calories in to recover from his match.
Absolutely, some brutal stuff. Simon taking that one. Owen with a 1 game ball still to play with. It's not a stroke for me.
Not a stroke for me either. Current line of referee and trying to encourage players to hit those ones.
So Simon's saying, I'm just backing out, like just a let. The referee's given a let, now he's complaining.
Not sure what he wants really.
Neither am I, but the referee's not giving him the time of day on that one and just telling him, you know, come on, crack on with it.
Must be 2 kinds of yes lets in Simon's mind. That wasn't the one that he was looking for.
That was a yes let to Taylor rather than a yes let to Herbert.
Brilliant width from Owen to close out that game.
Fantastic width. Simon doing everything he could to try and put that ball on the front wall. It just wasn't quite enough, Will. And now things are going to get really, really interesting.
the bell. So we'll put your game number and we talked about going to no, but because my explanation you probably remember
15 seconds. One game all. Nottingham serve.
Returning here for the third game. University of Nottingham kicking it off.
Tied at 1-1 in this proceeding, Will. Which way do you think it's going to go?
You really do love putting me on the spot tonight, don't you?
Absolutely.
I'm going to have to say Simon.
Go on then, I'll keep it interesting. After watching that finish, I'll say Owen. Put my reputation on the line.
I think what we're going to come down to here is knowing that obviously Owen's just come back and has had a very, very long day. It's really going to be a battle of whether he can keep it going physically long enough, because we know that Simon will likely be fine, while Simon tries to keep a lid on his mental state.
Some good analysis and good observation. I just hope, regardless of the result, we get to see some of the standard of squash we saw at the back end of that second game. Well, the referee giving a stroke for that one? I think so. Not sure I agree with that. It was a loose ball though.
If they'd been more consistent tonight, I'd be more on board with that one. But it's been some very up and down refereeing.
Absolutely, we've seen a lot of weak yes-lets. For me,
anyone who's played competitive squash for a referee before, you don't mind a bad referee in general,
as long as they're consistent.
As long as they're consistently bad.
Because you know what you get in. You just want to know when you stop what you're going to get, don't you? If you know that they're not going to give you the let you're looking for, then you'll play it on, and that's okay. So Stonewall stroke that'd be definitely very interesting to see that one as a yes let. Well,
I think I'd have been out my chair if we'd seen that one as a yes let, Sam, to be honest.
Up in arms, bud, up in arms.
That was definitely downer for me. Don't know what you thought of that one, but those type of flat ones out the neck, as I said, are flat.
Yeah, down for me. Well called from the referee. Owen bringing some fellow Welsh support in the crowd to cheer him on while he plays some good sponkin. Bronte Wright, another UON Nottingham student in the crowd tonight. She was actually just playing a little bit of Notts League for our student team, I believe, Will.
She won, I think, when I went down to go and watch a little bit in between these PSL matches.
Very good. Getting the win and then coming to cheer on Owen. It's going to be surely a no-let.
Liquid sponkin', as they say in the valley, Sam, there.
Liquid sponkin', indeed.
Lot of chat from Simon, lot of chat.
I was just about to say, I'm not too sure that one warrants complaints, to be honest. Bit of a he's definitely moved the wrong way for me, straight in forward and straight into Owen when the ball is firing past him.
I think
in a very tight line.
I think the crucial advice in the modern game is, if you want a yes let, don't go the wrong way. The referees take a hard line on this one these days.
They do, and
very important that you choose the correct line to the ball first time.
All right, now you need to play that. He's not in your swing.
for me, that's the right decision. But it is hard to accept, as you say, when the consistency has been so up and down. For me, if I'm refereeing that match, I'm giving an outlet there, and I'm wanting the player to play the ball. Owen's shown he can go round, shown he can get in the position. All he has to do is hit that. Bit of poetic justice, potentially, Will. Playing Simon at his own game.
Beautiful drop shot off the return of serve, cutting that one right into the front left nick.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous shot. And that one's in the middle of the tin. Owen extending his lead to 4 points here in the third game. Well, some very, very positive stuff. That's well played from Simon.
Bit more of a classic rally here. Simon opting to play a few more lengths. Obviously, commentators curse as soon as I say that. Firing that ball into the front.
Fires the short one in twice in a row. It's tight from Owen. Well retrieved from Simon.
Owen making him go the wrong way around there. Bit of a harsh no let, I felt.
I think the desperation of his ask there is almost undone him. I think the referee's explanation is weak as well. The line to that ball is straight through Owen.
He's a bit of a unit. Like the line is often at least partially through him. Certainly there, I thought it was quite direct, and it was a bit harsh on Simon. It wasn't the best backhand volley drop I've seen him play by a long shot.
No, a bit of fortune perhaps for Taylor here in this third game. Now extending his lead even further to 5 points, 9-4 up. It's hard to see him not taking a 2-1 lead here.
Simon looks like he's completely gone mentally, at least for the end of this game. Relentlessly going short.
A poor error from Owen. And one game ball, should I say. Saved. Simon really, really needs to reset himself here, Will. And I think it's much, much better for him to do that at the end of this game rather than the start of the next. And this is ridiculous. Everyone, including myself, thinking that backball boast was out on the sidewall.
I thought it was out as well, but Owen ripping it into the net.
And that is an outrageous finish, absolutely.
UON taking a 2-1 lead.
See a bit of that last rally again. That was, everyone, including Simon, thinking that ball's out. That's a ridiculous retrieval. And then wait for this finish. Fantastic lob. Oh, Sal-esque the way he's hit that so flat. Below his shoulder height as well.
Hip height ripped into the cross-court neck. Nothing but liquid sponking.
Fantastic stuff here, as we said, to give Nottingham a 2-1 lead in the final match of the evening.
15 seconds.
What do we think, Sam? Could this be the last game of squash of the night?
Nottingham lead, 2 games to 1. Nottingham
I think that all depends, as we've said all night, on Simon. I really, really want to see the top quality squash that we had at the end of the second and the start of the third. You know, as a professional, like we said, ranking now close to getting inside the top 100 in the world, just sitting outside at 110. These are the kind of matches and the kind of games where he really needs to just be able to completely reset his focus.
He was not in your swing.
I think that's definitely wasn't a stroke, but I think that could definitely, I'd have probably given a yes let for safety there. Well, I think Simon is running around and past Owen as he's wanting to swing for the ball.
Yeah, certainly some more interesting refereeing going on. They've left me speechless multiple times tonight. I'm not even sure where to go with a lot of the decisions.
And you do have one of the best vocabularies I actually know of anyone, Will, so to leave you speechless is quite some feat.
I did also win the UON Squash Lockdown Refereeing Quiz, so I'm a well-known figure in the refereeing side of the squash game.
That is an incredibly prestigious title to hold. So, maybe not how Simon expected to win these points, but I was about to say a 2-love lead, hopefully settling him down, but just lobbing the ball out of court there. Not under a great deal of pressure on that shot either, Will.
No, it was a long way out as well. That was a good couple of metres above the out of court line. Certainly not the usual thing to see at this kind of standard.
Going for that jumping slam dunk nick again. I feel like Owen has got himself into this match quite well after the first game. Really working Simon around the court now.
Certainly woken from his slumber a bit. He was looking very lethargic in the first, but much more on his feet. Looking to hunt that volley across the short line.
Absolutely, he's done well to get back to 2-all here quite quickly.
Not much change from Simon. It's 1 to the back, 3 to the front still.
Yeah. That's a no-let for me. I think that is probably the right decision, Will.
Absolutely, should have been looking to go round the back and to the left of Owen to get that one, I thought.
Yeah, so I'm expecting maybe a tighter, shorter volley drop there, and Owen actually just accelerating his swing at the last second and punching it ever so slightly deeper.
You know, you're just going to get no joy going into the back of Owen. The referees are looking for effort, but when you go into the back of someone that large and built, he ain't going to move, and it's going to look like you weren't trying.
Absolutely. That is a ridiculous retrieval.
I think I'd still be on the floor. We'd be winching me off with a crane if you saw me like that.
Absolutely. Some very, very explosive movement.
You'd never play squash again.
Can barely play as it is. Owen there showing the effort that we know the referees want. Getting himself round and through Simon.
Really pivotal rally here. Whoever wins this one might be finding themselves on top for the mid-section of this game.
Absolutely, and it's a very, very good quality rally, and Simon with an excellent finish.
Absolutely perfect, that one. Catching the nick just behind the back of the service box.
Absolutely, ever so subtle bit of hold to draw. Owen just half a step forward, making that shot extra effective when it gets punched to the back. Great to see the boys playing some of their best squash now tonight, Will.
Yeah, certainly seems to be finishing the night on a high. Commentator's curse strikes me again. Not having the greatest night for that one today.
It's unfortunate, but that lob again just clipping the out of court line. there's a healthy crowd in tonight, Will, and it's going to be, you know, maybe a little bit warmer down there courtside than it usually is. Not that that's any excuse. These boys should certainly be able to adapt to conditions well.
I think the extra warmth tonight's certainly suiting Owen. Bit more of a slower move around the court than Simon usually, I'd say, and especially tonight. So having that bit more pop on the ball certainly helping his cause.
Doesn't have quite the same explosivity on his last step. Simon really likes to throw that front leg out and land on the heel, doesn't he? And just let it almost slip away from him a little bit when he's flying into those front corners.
Yeah, I think he's not sure if he's playing on a squash court or a clay tennis court, but he does love a slide.
Does indeed. An unforced error again to give Owen a 2-point lead in the midsection of this crucial fourth game.
I think we're starting to see a pattern develop throughout this match where there's a few good rallies, sometimes a bit of a situation happens and a flurry of errors from Simon lets Owen take a bit of a lead each time.
Absolutely, but when Simon is like focusing and playing well thought out squash, he's clawing that lead back, as we've seen here now, back at 6-all. If he could, if only he could do this consistently throughout the game, I think it would be he'd be a real tough contender for any pro out there on the tour. Will.
Yeah, Simon on his day in a court that suits him, maybe if it's a bit more cold and deader than it is tonight, is a serious contender right up until near the top levels of the game, simply because of his ability to put the ball away consistently. I agree with Owen there. I actually think that one was down. I'm not sure if you saw that.
I didn't. Do you think it clipped the tin on the front wall there?
Yeah, it sounded a little bit strange and looked very low.
I think you might complain about that one.
Can we play that ball, please? I wasn't sure. I was unsigned.
Yeah, the referee wanting to play a let ball, unsure after Owen lost that rally whether it was up or down.
There was a ball earlier in the rally at the front, but I could not be sure.
You calling that one out straight away, and Owen putting his hand up as well. I think if the referee is unsure, a let ball probably the right thing to do there. Oh,
very clever.
Yeah, hitting that ball down the middle, back at his opponent, backing away. No time or space for him to dodge out the way of that ball, is there?
Yeah, Owen was just in Glasgow a couple of weeks ago playing the World Doubles. Obviously the down the middle, very much more prevalent on the wider doubles courts. I think he might have taken a bit of inspiration from that one. Saw his opportunity and took it to great effect. Simon didn't see that one at all.
Certainly worked well. And now we're about to watch your analysis come back to light, Will, here with an unforced error from Simon. After maybe frustrating himself a little by allowing himself to get hit by that ball down the middle.
Yeah, I could certainly do with my inter-game analysis coming true, because the way it's looking, my second prediction of the night might be falling on its face.
You've had a shocker really, Will, to be honest.
Not sure if anyone's kept an error count on Simon anywhere, but I think we might be over 20 unforced errors this match.
It's certainly been high. His winners, he's definitely hit more than Owen, but his unforced errors, as we say, also incredibly high for a player of his standard and for a match of this level of squash. You cannot hit the tin this many times.
Yeah, certainly not as early in the rally as he's sometimes doing, like off the serve or only a few shots in. He should really be looking to have put a lot of work in Owen's legs.
Absolutely. If I was Simon, I'd be backing myself physically tonight 100%. And the last thing I want is short, sharp, fast rallies. And essentially just giving away points, you know. Look at that ball there, just a standard safety like decision. Can definitely understand Owen's point of view. Got given an no-let for a similar situation, albeit not quite the same. And And an absolutely crucial time for Simon to make yet another error in this match, Will.
Yeah, handing Owen a match ball here.
2 match balls.
2 match balls even. Huge turnaround from that first game that we saw. I really thought Owen was going to be down and out.
Absolutely, but yeah, Owen conceding that was a pretty ridiculous straight drop, to be honest. 1 match ball saved.
No fear at all from Simon, is that the mindset never changes. Just attack, attack, attack.
Absolutely fearless squash. I wonder if he's had any sessions with Rich O'Connor.
What are you thinking? Winner or error here from Simon on this point?
I think that's probably fair, Will.
Maybe. I do think if it's on the backswing, it should stay consistent no matter what the score is, whether it's a game ball, match ball, or just love all in the first.
Very true. Honestly, I didn't really see the contact myself. I wasn't sure where on the swing it was. I actually think we're going to see Owen in this rally, Will, and just put the ball away. Yeah,
you're right.
Not a bad boast, but not quite good enough. Owen stepping forward with those long levers, punishing Simon with the counter drop, and taking the 4th match of the night, 3-1 for the University of Nottingham. An absolutely scintillating evening of squash, Will. Nottingham emerging victorious against Loughborough in this 4th round 2022 PSL Cup encounter. We saw Madina Zafar winning in 3 games. Adam also winning in 3 games. Tinne Gilis again winning in 3 games. And Owen finishing up the evening in 4 against a tough Simon Herbert, who looked very strong out the gate.
Absolutely superb night of squash. Very much enjoyed by me. Hope all our watchers have enjoyed as well. Me and Sam have had a great time. From our slightly biased position here, we have enjoyed seeing a UON win.
Absolutely. But I've enjoyed just watching some top quality squash more. There are the scores on the screen to finish for this evening. A great showing from Loughborough and a great evening of squash, but it's the University of Nottingham who emerged victorious. So thank you from me, Sam. Thank you very much for joining me, Will.
Absolute pleasure. Looking forward to the next home PSL game.
Absolutely. That's the last home PSL match of this season for Nottingham. Their next match is away against Crawley. And thank you to Pfizer as well for her stint in the commentary box and all of the rest of the team that make this possible. We'll sign off for tonight. See you all next time.